All right, everyone. Welcome to another Digital 262 production. You are watching Elite Talk. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching another episode of Elite Talk with my man G. What's going on, brother?
What's going on?
Yeah,
man?
good to see you, man. Good to see you, brother.
Most definitely. Blessings.
And in this corner, we got my man TJ. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Okay.
Man, first of all, I want to apologize to our fans, man.
Most definitely.
Because we've been gone for a very long time. We haven't dropped any new content, but you know, there's a reason for it. And the schedule's we've been real busy, and my man TJ here got ill. You know,
Yeah.
So what happened, man? Tell the audience what's going on.
Man, I put a lot of respect on COVID's name, man.
COVID.
Yeah, man. I was out for the count for a little bit, man. I'm vaccinated and everything, and it still hit me kind of hard, man. So I apologize. You know, I was partly the reason why, you know, we didn't record. I wanted to protect my brothers, you know, and
Most
other
definitely.
people in society. So, but I'm back, man, healthy, and we're back at it, man. Let's cook.
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
Absolutely.
So we actually have a very, very interesting topic today, and I think you guys are going to love it. But let me just, before we start, I want to say, just remember, everyone, that these topics that we talk about are in a male's perspective, okay?
Absolutely.
So we're not here to bash women. We're not here to bash anyone. Now, if you disagree or agree with anything that we're talking about, please write it in our comment section. Write it in our comment section. Now, I learned something new, though.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that in iHeartRadio and Pandora and all these other platforms, they can't actually write comments. So if you want to write a comment, write to us. Please go to our Facebook page at Digital262, our YouTube page, Digital262, or you can go to www.digital262.com. Drop us a comment or question, and we'll be more than happy to respond to your request. All right, so
definitely.
Without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's get it. Let's cook.
So today we're going to talk about red flags. Now, what does that mean? G, can you explain to the people what are red flags?
What are red flags? Interesting. Listen, red flags are they are typically used in a danger or command to stop or retreat. They not always recognized at first, which makes them dangerous. That's what makes them dangerous, because they not recognized. But however, they tend to grow bigger and become more problematic over time. That's pretty much what a red flag is. They don't pretty much be right away, but then over time they get bigger, they grow bigger, which in some sports terms, and when I looked it up, they use a red flag, like in football, they use a red flag to review some things.
So how is a red flag? Because we're talking about red flags in terms of what?
In relationships.
Okay.
I ain't want to put that out there right away.
Oh, okay.
I ain't want to put that out there right away, but I guess it's out there now.
Yeah.
So a red flag when it comes to a relationship. But I wanted to ask you guys something, and I know we've talked about that, TJ.
Yeah.
So when is a red flag effective? When does a red flag come to play in a relationship, in your opinion?
I feel like it's stages of it, man. I feel like it's a pre-talking stage that exhibits red flags. Then the stage where you're actually talking and courting someone, and then as you're dating, and then it helps you decide whether or not you want to actually commit and pull the trigger. Like we were saying earlier with red flags, I feel as though it's just a warning, you know. It's little subtle things. Sometimes, and I feel like most people, they think that red flags are pretty much like warnings, or they're like subtle, but I feel like, or it takes a while for us to know what they are, but I feel like a lot of the red flags could be blatant.
Yeah.
But we're into the person so much, and we like them so much, we're infatuated that we choose to ignore these red flags. But there's definitely stages of it. The pre-talking stage, when you're actually talking, and then when you're actually dating the person. So you just have to look out for those, man.
Yeah, can a red flag be a deal breaker to you guys? Can there be one red flag that just says, that's it, I can't no longer be with this woman or see her? I mean, that red flag was just very insignificant.
It really depends on what it is, man. I feel like certain red flags, absolutely. If it violates your moral code and if it violates your purpose and the type of relationship that you desire to have, it definitely could be a deal breaker.
Yeah.
But I also feel like there's other red flags that you can kind of look over. Maybe it could be past trauma, or it's just a bad habit that a woman has developed, but she can get over it. She may not even realize it, and you highlight it and point it out, and she's willing to change it. Why would you cut her off if she's willing to change that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like it really depends, but yeah, it can go either way.
How about with you, G? Is there a red flag that you just say, nah, this is, or can there be a red flag for you to just say no?
Yeah, it can be. I know when we was talking at one point, I was a little petty, but one of my biggest red flags is, one of my biggest red flags is, you touching my nose and my lips.
Yeah, you don't like no one touching your nose or your lips?
At all.
Oh,
like,
wow.
That's like, especially if I tell you, like, if I let you know this, don't touch my nose and my lips, and you do it, I'm done because you're not listening to me. That's that's something that you overhearing. A red flag is, and I can say one of my red flags is, inconsistent communication.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that because we actually made a list, everyone, of our biggest red flags.
Oh, yeah.
And that's actually what we're going to talk about. Now, if you, like I said, if you agree with these red flags, or if you have your own red flags that you want to talk about with us, write it in the comment section, and we'll be more than happy to talk about it on the next podcast or even respond to you. But red flags. So actually, G, let's start with you. Let's talk about your red flags. What are they?
Well, one of them is inconsistent communication, like I stated, lack of emotional intimacy, trust issues, physical, emotional, or mental abuse, emotional unavailability. Did I do more than 5?
I think that was 5.
Oh, right? Man, because I'm finna go down the line, y'all. Let me stop. Let me go.
So your first one. First one was what? I'm sorry.
My first one was inconsistent communication.
Okay. So what does that mean to you?
That means, just like I said, if I tell you I don't like you touching my nose and my lips, don't do it. But if you do it, that means that's an inconsistent thing that you're not, I'm communicating that with you. So you're not hearing what I'm saying. So then that can go a long way. That goes with that. And that, again, that's a petty thing that I can say I have that is petty to me. But at the same time, if you don't go by that, everything else can fall into play when it comes down to that.
Yeah.
I could tell you, hey, don't do this. I got another one, don't touch my butt either. Don't slap my butt. But some women like to do it and some men like it. That's just what they do. I just don't personally like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm constantly telling you something, just let it be.
Yeah, right.
So that's off that communication.
And I think that's very important. That's actually very important.
It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's the next one?
Lack of emotional intimacy.
Lack of emotional intimacy.
What does that mean specifically for you?
When emotions and that's like a mindset. To me, when your emotions is in it, where when I'm not around you, you thinking about me. But if I don't get that energy, I want to say it's an energy thing.
Okay. Yeah.
It could be energy. If I don't feel that energy, then I don't think I can, because I want to be around you. I want to be at work and be thinking about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I can't have that, off that emotion, because my emotions like, man, it's running because I want to be around you. If I don't get that, then I can't do that.
Yeah. That's a good one. That definitely be a red flag for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
All right. What else you got?
Trust issues.
Oof, trust.
And it's crazy. I used to have that. That was a red flag for me to others. I must say, because I did have a lot of trust issues.
Yeah.
Because of my past trauma that I had, being cheated on, putting my all into a woman, and she cheating on me, finding out certain stuff, and I end up getting it. But then I had to learn it. Stop coming into relationships not trusting.
Yeah.
Because then once I changed my mindset of what I'm doing and what's going on with me, then our relationship can possibly run a little bit smoother because they may not have the same intentions with me.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that where, I can't come in not trusting. But if you don't trust me, because yes, where I work at and what we do for a living is very demanding. A lot of times we be at work all the time, and that be the biggest killer right there. Where it's like you always at work. So now this trust is who you out there seeing.
Yeah. Let me throw a wrench in that, G. If let's say at the beginning of the relationship, you guys are not in a relationship yet, but what is one thing that a girl must do for you to know that she's not trustworthy? You just barely know her, but what is something that she can do for you to just say, you know what, I might not trust this girl? You know what I mean? Like
the way she move, like, and when I say the way she move is what she do. I'm a very, very observant guy.
Yeah.
I sit back and I watch before I even if I'm talking to you, before I really approach you, or before, even if you know that I'm interested in you, we talking, you got to do some stuff that really would turn me off with it. Like, I don't want to go into one red flag. If I'm not mistaken, I know me and my brother talked about it before, so I'm gonna let him have that one. But once you get there, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a lot when she managed to sit up here and do certain things that inconsistent. That plays a part. For me, the way it's just pretty much the way she moved.
Yeah.
The way she moved, that's what turn me off with that.
Trust is a very big one. I agree. Yeah. That's a big red flag. So
huge.
Yeah. What you got next? What's the next red flag?
I guess physical, emotional, and mental abuse. And that's a hitter because I get it. Women and men are abused in all terms. What I just said of the physical, and emotional, and mental.
Yeah.
They are abused, and I understand that. And I am a man to actually help get you through that if that's possible. Because I do understand that. Is it a red flag? Yes. So then now I got to work a little bit extra harder because I don't want to go back and touch any of them areas that you was abused in.
Yeah.
And I try my best not to go to that.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that I don't want you to stray away from me and get more inconsistent with me due to the fact of that.
Yeah.
But it is a red flag because now you trading with me lightly now. You trading with me. Not you there, but you're not there. And I get it. Everybody been down that road being physical, especially physical, abuse and emotional. Everybody been there. Mental, everybody been there. Yeah. So it goes to the point I could try to help you, but if you not helping me, helping you, you can't do nothing. That's a red flag for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So do you think that that's gonna, and that's very important because let's say, for example, in my opinion, if you guys decide to go further, do you believe it's gonna get worse?
I believe so because things managed to come up that would bring back from the past trauma that she had. It's gonna come back, and even I do it sometimes. In my past trauma, hey, don't do this, don't do that because it's something that I seen before. So it goes on both sides. It's just not me to her; it's her to me too. So then I gotta know how I gotta tread in my stuff also.
All right. What you got?
And then my last one is the emotional unavailability.
That's a good one.
If I can't get you emotionally, like. And I could use that. I could bring that in with being vulnerable. If you can't get there with me, if you can't reach that level with me emotionally in your heart, then I can't be with you because then that means you're not letting me in. Because you want me to let you in, let me in. Now.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we can't be emotionally attached, then it's pointless for us to keep going.
Let's be fair, G, about something. If is that something that you guys can grow into? Is that something that can?
We definitely can.
Yeah.
That's why I say I sit back and observe because sometimes, it don't show right away, but it will show something. Because again, that goes back to that inconsistent. If it don't play and if it don't keep going, then I know how to draw back. Have I done that before? Yes, I have done that before where it was not consistent. The emotion was not there, and it's like, okay, now I got to fall back because I don't want to get too deep, and then I'm the only one in the ocean swimming.
Yeah.
Then that means I'm gonna be out there drowning because then you're sitting on the shore looking at me like, okay, stupid. And I don't want to be like that. You know what I mean? I want to be out there by myself.
Yeah. Well, those are very good points you made, man. And those red flags are enough to scare anybody away. So if you guys are just tuning in, we're talking about red flags that you're looking at, that you observe from another person that makes you say, let me take a step back a little bit.
Like I'm good.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. And again, write on the comments Let us know what your red flags are.
Yeah.
So switching it up, let's talk to my man TJ over here, because I'm sure he has some good red flags.
The man.
What's going on, TJ?
Yeah. Oh man. So I was reflecting on, the red flags, and I really just tried to dig deep and get a good wider perspective of it based on my experiences. But I would say off the rip, man, the first one will be women that seek validation from social media, like Instagram and Facebook. You see women, wearing like really revealing clothes and having their butt out in the camera and just setting thirst traps all the time. To me, that's a red flag, because if you seek that validation from men or from pretty much anybody, it tells me a lot about your self-esteem. And, I want to be with a woman who has high self-esteem and who doesn't seek validation or seek that type of sexual validation, because it says a lot about your character ultimately.
Absolutely. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I see that a lot on social media.
So just to throw a quick question to that, why you think that though? Why do you think that they do that?
Like I said, I think it stems from their self-esteem. Maybe they lacked a father figure in their life. Maybe they just have a really low self-awareness of themselves. So they feel like they have to do the most to get the attention and garner that from men, But to me, it's like, I'm more intellectual. I mean, we all see the beauty in individuals, but I mean, that's just a major turnoff. Like I was talking about earlier, the pre-talking stage.
Yeah.
That's one of the eliminators for me. If I feel like you're sending thirst traps and you're trying to get attention and you're worried about likes and comments and all the attention, I'm a low-key kind of guy. I mean, I don't look like it, but I like to stay out the way and just do my own thing. And I don't like a lot of attention, so I can't, my woman has to be my equal in that regard.
So who you think managed to get the most DMs? A girl that's fully clothing, look nice. I mean, clothes, fitted clothing.
Yeah.
And then, or somebody that's, on IG, doing a little twerking.
I think we all three of us know the answer to that.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I just want to throw that out there.
I say another one, man. It kind of leads me into like what I was saying initially about the social media and the self-esteem. Women that they lacked a father figure in their life. To me, that's really dangerous, because if you lacked a father figure in your life and you're trying to build something with me, and in my experience, I'm not saying all women, but most women in my experience who didn't have a father figure, they don't really have they don't view men in a high regard.
Yeah, right.
So I want to be your everything. I want to be a man that you admire, that you look up to, that you respect. And if you lack that respect for males or men in general, because you didn't have a father, you may have some underlying resentment, then that's going to say a lot about how you treat me in the relationship and how you view me in the relationship. So my best relationships have been with women who their fathers were active. Yeah. And, like it's easy because it's like I meet their dad and, it's all love. They know what type of guy I am. So that's something that I really look for. And if that lacks, that's one of the eliminators as well.
Yeah.
Another one, man, women that have like super masculine energy.
Oh God. Yeah.
That's to me, I could talk to a woman for like 3 to 5 minutes and determine like, nah, like I'm the type of guy, I'm the man, I'm masculine myself. I'm very alpha, apex predator out here.
Yeah.
And, I can't be with a woman who it becomes a power struggle. It becomes who's going to be who's wearing the pants, who's going to be the dominant person in the relationship. And I'm not going to do that, because I feel like my actions, the type of man that I am, it all speaks for itself. So a woman that tries to overtake that or hijack that, I can't get down with that, man, because,
let me play devil's advocate here for a second, Lambert.
Yeah, absolutely.
DJ, do you believe though that it's a matter of when men? Because I've been in a relationship like that, and that's why I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah,
where the girl was very masculine, but I felt threatened by her.
Why did you feel threatened by her? Because she was so masculine.
She was.
What's your definition of masculine? Is a better question, I guess.
That she tries to fit in my shoes. She tries to play my role in a relationship as a man.
Okay.
And she, not only that, but she felt like she can do it better. So for me, I felt very threatened. Okay. Do you feel that would be a reason why,
I wouldn't feel threatened. I would just feel like, you don't have to be, it can't be two of us doing the same thing. You know, you don't have to be masculine and have all this alpha energy.
Yeah.
You could be a strong woman and not exhibit that. I make my woman feel like she can be a woman, let her hair down, chill. I feel like most women, they don't want to garner in the responsibility of paying bills, of making plans and stuff. Like, a lot of women that do it, it's because they have to. You know what I mean? Men aren't consistent in their lives, but I'm a consistent guy.
Yeah.
So you don't need to do all that. You can let your hair down, sit in the passenger seat, put your feet up and relax. I got this, baby.
Yeah.
You know, that's my mentality. So I feel like it just goes into that, our last conversation about the submission, you know, level of submission. And submission goes both ways, you know, like men should submit to women as well. But we have to decide what role we want to play in the relationship. And, you know, I'm super alpha, and, you know, I win by my actions, not my words. And that garners in the respect.
Yeah.
So
that's
that's definitely a red flag. Yeah. Another one for me would be women that aren't at a mutual intellectual level with you. Yeah. Like, I feel like if you're courting a woman and you're evaluating whether or not you want to take it further with her, you have to have the same perspective, the same ideology of life. If you don't, then you're gonna come across problems along the way. If we're at dinner and I want to talk about Bitcoin, and investments and real estate and property and really just leveling up, and you want to talk about Nicki Minaj or even hip hop or just stuff that doesn't even matter, or gossip and be messy. To me, it's like we're not on the same terrain. We're not on the same playing field. So I can't move forward with you because I'm trying to build a foundation. I'm trying to build a legacy with my family. Yeah. And you have to have that same accord. And if intellectually we can't vibe or talk like that, then we're wasting not only my time, but your time as well. So
do you believe, though, that having a female or a partner that it's not in the same, maybe it's in the same intellectual level, but it just maybe has different interests? You know,
I feel like I could decipher the difference. Yeah. Like, I can be into jazz and a woman could be into hip hop. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily, we're both equally could be intelligent of music, but we just have a different preference of taste. Yeah. I feel like it's pretty apparent when you can realize that someone's not on that same intellectual level. You can look at their vocabulary or listen to their vocabulary, and really just look at their perspective of life. And you have to be on the same page. You have to be on the same accord, or else it's not going to work, because you could be involved in lust and infatuation, but it shows its ugly, it rears its ugly head, you know, once you realize like, man, I went out to dinner, we ain't had nothing to talk about. Once the lust and you done got the sexual urges out and you've been intimate and you've been with the person for a while, you know, people reveal themselves over time. Yep. So I can't do that. I have to be at the same level. A woman can even be greater than me, and I can learn from her, but it can't be any less than what I am. It has to be equal to or greater than. That's the magic equation for me, man.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
I'll say the last one, man, will be, this is the big one, man. Women that don't place a great emphasis on their relationship with God. Because to me, it's like, I want to be with a structured woman, a woman who really has a foundation. And I feel like there's a saying, like I said it before, a man that doesn't have any like structure, any like discipline is like a wall with no cities. There's no boundaries. There's no, like, if a woman doesn't value God, to me, she's dangerous, because I'm a man of God. I'm a God-fearing man. And I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in the power of God and his presence in my life. And if you're an atheist, or you don't really place a great emphasis on that, you don't even have to be all the way there. You could be still on the journey of trying to get there. We can get there together. It's just all about intention. And if you don't have that intention, I can't do anything with you. I mean, I could probably mess around with you and we can go out on dates and we could be cool. But as far as you being my wife, we're not on the same playing field, because during those hard times, I'm going to reach out to God, you know, and if I'm supposed to lead my woman, you know, I'm supposed to be that rock. But if you don't even have a belief or any type of system within yourself or your spirit, then I just can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, and then my children, like I have to have a woman that has a great emphasis on that, because that's going to say a lot about how they're raised in my household. So yeah, man, if you don't believe in God, you're dangerous to me, and I can't take that seriously, man. That's a huge red flag.
Yeah, that's actually, I agree with that, that one. That's a major red flag.
That should be like probably top one. That should be like the top of the list.
Due to because he's supposed to be the center of your relationship.
Everything.
He's supposed to be the center of your life, period.
Yeah.
And if you don't put him first, then your relationship is nothing. It's not real rooted. Like, you know, even and I'm gonna get a mic up in a second.
No, your thing.
And it goes down to it, like, if you don't allow God to control anything, if you don't allow him to control your life or anything, I guarantee you it's not gonna work out. Now these red flags that we mentioned, it's gonna blow up even more and go bigger because you're not putting him first.
Yeah.
So he's gonna show you, like, this is what it is. Like, look at this. This not working because you didn't put me first with this.
Yeah.
So any person I date, they know, like, you know what I'm saying, if I'm watching church virtually or if I'm praying, they know, like, you know, don't talk to me at this time.
Yeah.
Because I got to set it out for him. And if you're not equally yoked,
oh yeah,
and that's what it is. That's Bible term there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I don't want to go that deep with that, you know, because I don't want to put down nothing. But if you're not equally yoked, then we can't do nothing.
Yeah, it's like a house with no foundation.
Exactly.
You know, it's not gonna weather the storm. It's gonna fall down eventually on us. So that roof has to be solid. That foundation has to be strong in order for us to have any type of longevity.
Yeah. You know, before I go into my list, and I have a pretty good list too, I think, but let me ask you that, TJ, and I thought me and you had a conversation about this.
Yeah.
When does a red flag become something else? And I let me rephrase that question. So when we all three of us were talking, I brought up a point that when you are first beginning to know this person, red flags, and this is my opinion, red flags come to play. That's when red flags are red flags.
Yeah.
But when does a red flag is no longer a red flag, but now it's something that you have to deal with? Can a red flag have an expiration date or a limit?
I feel like once you commit to a woman, there's no more red flags. Once you marry, people get divorces, but once you marry that woman, it's like if I'll use a base level example. It's like if she snores. Yeah. Or if she has certain flaws that are just her. Some things that no one's perfect. You're going to have to accept certain things. Yeah. But once you commit to a woman, once you marry a woman, there's no such thing as red flags anymore. Yeah. Because at that point, you've had the allotted time to decide whether or not you want to pull the trigger on that relationship. And once you decide that, that's just the flaw of the person. We all have, like with your wife, I'm sure she has things that you don't like, but you've accepted it because, you know, this is who she is. I not only love her for her strengths, but I love her for her weaknesses as well. Yeah. And there is no more red flags because I decided to commit to you. Yeah. So that's how I feel. So yeah, you don't have any red flags once you commit to a woman thoroughly. Yeah. It only exists in the talking stage and the dating stage. In my opinion, I
wouldn't say it has an expiration date or anything. Only thing I say, it fades out after a while. Because after a while, you don't see it. Yeah, it's not noticeable. Like I said, I don't like a woman to touch my lips and my nose. Because me stating that to them, you're gonna understand. Because when you do it again, I'm gonna mention it, and I'm gonna mention it. Then you're gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, he just don't like that. So let me stop. You know, and let me do something that he do like. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't think it have an expiration date or how long or whenever not become a red flag. We just know it fades out. Yeah. After a while, but understand sometimes, like my brother said earlier, do it rear its head a little bit, possibly. You know what I mean? Like, because nobody's perfect. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, because I want somebody to love me for my flaws just as well as I love them for theirs. You know what I'm saying? And everybody had a little hiccups and, you know, they do something and it may be accidental. I didn't have one of my exes, she did it to me. And she just was like, boom, I'm like, whoa, what you doing? I popped her hand because, you know, I'm quick. What you doing? She was like, yeah, my bad. And I'm like, she was like, I just love your lips. I'm like, man, chill out. But then it was like a joking manner, and I didn't take it as of
Too personal.
Too personal. It was just we was we was playing. So do it comes up? Yeah, it do. Do it have an expiration date? I don't believe so. I don't think it do. It just fades out.
I just feel like ultimately a person has to do their due diligence.
Right.
That's why people shouldn't rush relationships. People should really take the time to get to know a woman, because people, whether you're a man or a woman, like, time reveals all things.
Yep.
And you can't, if you decide to commit or whatever, and you can't just keep going and saying it's a red flag.
Yeah.
You have to decide, like, this is this person's flaw, and this is what I'm going to deal with. I love this person. And you just have to take your time and really study a woman, study a man, and these things will reveal themselves in time, but never rush it, because once you commit, it's unfair to hold that red flag title over someone's head. You know?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. All right, everyone. So remember, if you want to talk about your red flags, write it down in the comment section. Let's hear your red flags. What is a red flag that you see in another person that makes you just take a step back and really rethink your next decision? All right, so I got some red flags too, guys, that I want to talk about, and I really want you guys' perspective on these red flags. Mine are a little different.
Okay.
All right, and these might offend a few people, and like I said, right on the comment section if you feel like I'm offending you.
Make sure y'all aim that towards him, not us. I'm just playing.
The opinions that are about to be expressed are only the expressions of Pilo.Green and not
Friendly,
Pilo dot.
friendly disclaimer.
friendly disclaimer. All right, for my first one, guys, a red flag would be a woman that has kids but with multiple partners. Now, okay, let me clear that up. So if I'm, in a dating scene and one child, that's fine. At our age, that's
everybody got kids.
Everybody has kids. We have to accept that.
Yeah.
2 kids, yeah, sure. You might work with that. Multiple partners, yeah, sure. It's doable. It's workable.
Yeah.
But 3, 4, 5, 6 with multiple partners, with multiple fathers.
Yeah.
Now that's a big red flag to me, because what that tells me is that this girl does not have it together. Right? Am I wrong?
Together in what aspect? Like, she doesn't have any physical discipline.
She doesn't have any physical discipline. She's a very bad character of judgment. She
makes the same mistakes twice.
Makes the same mistakes twice.
Okay. Or 3 or 4 or 5
or 6. Yeah. Okay. But what's to say that she? I'm not the number 7, or all the drama that's going to come behind all of that, because if a woman has multiple baby daddies, there's going to be a lot of baggage. It's going to be a lot of drama.
The baby daddy's in the picture.
They are in the picture.
In some capacity. And every real man wants to feel like he's number one.
Yeah.
Like, he wants to feel like it's his kingdom, it's his house. So if there's multiple men around, it's kind of impossible for a man to think that sometimes, because whether the father's a deadbeat or whether the father is active, it's still another man left his imprint on your kingdom, God. You have to deal with that.
What do you think? Am I wrong, G?
Now, I dated a lot of women, in my past that had multiple kids, and a few of them had maybe 1 or 2 baby daddies.
You have a limit
of what, kids?
Kids or fathers.
Well, I actually dated somebody, God rest her soul. She had 4 kids, and I believe she had 2 baby daddies.
Okay.
So that was okay.
Yeah.
Grant, because they was one of them was a part of the daughter's life, which it was okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
They respect boundaries, and that's where that goes. The boundaries being respected.
Yeah.
So I was okay with that. The last one, he was, I'm not gonna speak on him like that because I'm not gonna downplay no man, but he was not there.
Yeah.
So I had to pretty much kind of play that role.
You got to pick up that slack,
and I had to pick it up. So, is that a deal breaker? Yes and no, and it all depends on the mother too.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
How they handle the situation,
and how they handle the situation.
Yeah,
because that can be a red flag where she managed to turn, mentally and phically, emotionally beat me up because of what he did.
Oh yeah,
and people say too, like, especially in situations like that, like the stepfather situations where there's multiple kids and father's like, say like the dad's not involved, you have all the responsibility but no respect.
Yeah.
Because it's like children are always, their dad could just be scum of the earth, but they'll still respect their dad and still give them the benefit of the doubt, because every child's dad should be their superhero, regardless. It's just that unconditional love that you can never match.
Yeah.
And then you're with the child's mom, and you're literally providing for this child. You're doing everything, and they're still not going to respect you because you're not their dad.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
And then but you still have all the responsibility. So it's like you feel like you're in a helpless situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to pick up from the failures of another man. You have to, carry those groceries in, and now I'm using that as a metaphor. You have to carry those bags. But ultimately, if the woman's worth it, then great. But in most situations, man,
that's the thing, and I'm glad you said that, because I don't want to say that women that has multiple kids with multiple people are bad people or can't be trustworthy or anything like that, because there's great people, great women, and I know a couple of them that are amazing people. Yeah. But to me personally, like you said, most are just that's just a weight I don't want.
It's a liability aspect. Too many liabilities.
Exactly. Well, my next one is the female has to have good credit. She has to have good credit.
That's a great one.
And why does she have to have good credit? The reason that I say that is because that shows a lot about a person when they have, their credit says a lot. Yeah. Not to say that I need a woman with an 800 score credit or before I meet somebody, I have to, quickly look at their credit score or anything like that. Yeah. But by me knowing that this person has a level of responsibility, especially financial responsibility, says multiple things about that person, in my opinion. Yeah. That they're responsible, that they really pay attention to detail, and they not only that, but they have they look at their future, very seriously. You know what I mean? Because good credit means a lot. Especially nowadays, when you need good credit for everything. So, to me, that has to be a very good point for me to be able to,
that's a great one.
Move forward into a relationship.
Absolutely,
so good credit. Okay. So number 3, she has to be able to have a job or hold a job. And let me tell you why I say that. Okay. Because me as a man, I'm from the old school, man. And for me, a woman doesn't have to work. If we're together, we're married. I feel like I'm the man of the house. I have to bring in the bacon. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. But if a girl tells me that she's worked here many times, I'm not looking at it in aspects that she can't hold a job, but she's not irresponsible. She's very irresponsible. Yeah. She got fired from here for coming in late. Yeah. She came in here for coming in drunk. She came in here because she stole some money. She keeps getting fired and fired and fired. That tells me that person is just completely irresponsible and very immature. Right.
Or or just quits a job because she didn't like it.
Yeah.
That shows her character, though.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That shows her character, man. What type of person? Because I feel if it's that with a job, she do that with men.
Yes,
easily.
I could say. I mean, and I believe that may be true when it comes down to it. You in and out of relationships. You in and out of relationships because you can't hold a job.
Can't hold it.
Yeah, the relationship is a job, pretty much.
Or it just goes to show me that when the going gets tough,
you out of there.
You're gonna bail out.
Yeah, you out of there.
And that's a smaller example. I mean, having a job, we all have jobs we hate that we don't like, but we have to do what we have to do in order to do what we want to do.
Exactly.
I love my job, for the record.
We all do.
We all do.
I love my
job. For the record, we all
I love my job, for the record.
That's also my next one. I'm glad you said that. What we do, we love our jobs. All right. So the next one will be has a lot of male friends. So before, if I meet somebody, and that goes back to what you said about the Instagram thing, okay? And they have to show validation through social media. But my thing is, if a woman has a lot of male friends, and as a matter of fact, if most of her friends are males, that's a red flag for me. Yeah, because it's easy for somebody to say, well, they're just friends.
That's interesting.
And people use that so loosely.
Yeah,
like in my definition of friends, like if I call a woman my friend, we've never had any physical interactions. Right. And a lot of people say like, oh, he's just my friend. That's just he's like a brother to me. But back in the day, they smashed. Or he's seen you naked, or he's been inside you. Yeah. That person, once you cross that threshold, that man is no longer a friend.
No longer a friend.
And it goes even if that, even if you didn't do anything with this person, your intentions
Yeah, you find them attractive still,
you got,
even if it didn't go there.
Right. Like you have an intention to have all these males, like you managed to see something in all these males that you want in your one man.
Yeah.
So that's why you have so many, because you know he may look good. He may have the job. He may have this. He may have that.
Yep.
And then next thing you know it, now it goes to the point like you want to put that all into one. So even with the multiple ones, you have an interest in them some type of way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where you like, I gotta have all this. And yet that's a major that is a major red flag, because it's like now your focus is not on me anymore. Even if you call them that's bro. Yeah, you like bro too.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous, because you could be, couples all couples fight, you know what I mean? But you could be in a bad space with your man, and you're gonna want a male's perspective. And a lot of men I know, and I don't mean to put us on blast, man, but a lot of men will befriend a woman with intentions on he'll stay in the cut, but soon as she's vulnerable or she comes to that man, they're right around the corner.
Oh yeah,
ready
absolutely.
to pull the trigger,
absolutely.
or take advantage of a woman when she's emotional. When she's emotionally weak and she's going through it, they'll tell a woman whatever she wants to hear so they can get what they want.
Yep.
And I feel like that's dangerous, because women who are in a bad space with their man, they tell men all their business, and of course we're going to be like, oh yeah, man, he should be doing this better, he should be doing that better, further pushing that woman off the cliff. So it's just, to me, and I have this rule in my own relationships and stuff too, like if I messed around with a woman sexually, or if I talk to her, I cut it out, because I don't want that temptation. I don't want that type of energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're a friend, you're truly a friend. So that's just my opinion.
It gets really messy. And I tell you one thing, if a girl has 10 male friends, 9 of them want to smash. That's just
and it's crazy. I actually had that when I was dating somebody. She had a male friend that she claimed that, but his intentions, he wanted to be with her. Right. So then she'll go to him for advice, like we stated. And, hey, why is this and why is that? And he said, well, A, B, C, and D, knowing, underlining, you want her. Yeah.
You know why that man, or those 9 men that want to smash, you know why? They're just friends.
Why is that?
They were friend zoned by her. Because sometimes, and I don't mean to put y'all on blast, women, but sometimes you can utilize men for different reasons.
Oh yeah,
most definitely.
Yep.
For if a guy, if you know he likes you, you want to exploit him financially. Oh, he buys me lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, he tells me this. He does this. Like A, B, C, D. Men have multiple reasons to be in a woman's life. So that man, he'll be your friend, and you could friend zone him, and you're getting the benefit. But back in that man's mind,
oh yeah,
he's like, if I prove to her how good of a friend I am, then eventually she'll look at me different, and I can ultimately get what I desire and want from her.
Yep, that's a really good point. It's true. Well, my last one is I hate, and this is my pet peeve. That actually this should have been number one.
Yeah,
I hate a woman that's self-centered. The world revolves around her. Yeah, the one-uppers. If the guy version of a self-centered is the one-upper. We've seen a lot of those. And but when a woman is self-centered, that tells me that she doesn't care about anybody but herself. Yeah, and it's hard. In my experience, it's really hard to convince a woman. No, it's just two of us. It's one. And especially, and I think you can tell right away when you have a conversation with a girl, and then you tell her about yourself, and she quickly changes it up, and she applies it to her. How does that, what you just said, affects her? And affects her only. To me, that's a major red flag. As a matter of fact, that should have been number one on my list, because right away I know, your friend zones. I got to walk away from this. Yeah,
it's actually crazy. I was chopping it up with somebody. And it was recent. I want to say maybe early sometime this year, and that happened. Like everything pretty much that it was done in my life, it was like, okay, what about me? Yeah. And it was like me, and I'm like, okay, I understand that. Yeah. Understand me now. So then it got to the point where, when you telling me that my schedule is too booked up for you, but your schedule is booked up, then that means I don't know. We done. Yeah. So that died where it was at. We buried that 6 feet deep. Yeah. Yep. So when it came down to that, I was like,
time to go.
You got a big dog.
Gonna have it.
You can have it, because and I'm not. Is it a bad thing? Yes and no, but you gotta open yourself up though.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because if you deciding that you want a partner being self-centered, you definitely gotta open that up to allow somebody in.
Yeah.
And you got to look at that long term. If a woman is self-centered, she's not going to put your kids first.
Exactly.
She's not going to put you first. She's not going to put God first.
Yep.
It's all about her.
Yep.
And that's very destructive.
Yep. That's a very
to
good
any
point.
man. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very, very great conversation. Like I said, if you disagree, if you want to share your red flags, please write it on the comment section of this video on YouTube and Facebook. And if you want to catch past episodes of our podcast, you can tune in on Pandora, iHeartRadio, anywhere you listen, anywhere. It doesn't matter what platform it is, Apple, Amazon, Google, any platform that you listen to podcasts, just search for Elite Talk with G and TJ and it'll pop up. So thank you guys for watching. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. Do you guys have any final thoughts on what we talked about?
Once again, I want to apologize to the viewers. You know, I was traveling.
It's all his fault, man.
It really is. I take all the blame. I went to Atlanta, then I went to Houston.
Yeah.
I just been doing a lot of traveling this month. And
Yeah.
Messed around, came back and got COVID.
Yeah.
You know, I was off work and I didn't want to, spread the love to everybody like that.
Right.
So I apologize and for the hiatus, and we're back and, we're cooking up episodes for you guys. So be on the lookout for everything, but I appreciate you, and as we all do. So any words, G?
Die with memories, not with dreams.
Like that. That says a lot right there.
Yeah.
It's bars right
I
there.
just have to leave it as that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you for watching another episode of Elite Talk. Peace.